Big stretch. Yes. Okay, so we are now at part three, and will be the final part three. I can just get this finger to fucking work. Sorry. So we're at part three of this week's new comics, bitches. So, on to our, as is, it's kind of become customary to have more than one pick of the week. There is an ultimate pick of the week every week, but there's usually more than one book that just really is like, wow. And if you saw what came out last week, I'm sure that what you're going to see in these picks of the week are not going to be really of a big surprise to you. So, let's go, shall we? Number three, counting down. So, American Vampire, number 24. So we have more insight into the background of Travis Kidd. We have, since we learned last issue that indeed Skinner Sweet is not dead, as we thought he was when everything kind of wrapped up with Pearl Jones. And, what she did to him, and that, ultimately, the weakness of the American Vampire is gold. And just got this this really dark, bleak backstory with Travis and everything that he's done, and him trying to save the girl that this whole kind of death race that they've been on since the issue began. You get just some wonderful writing, artwork, these themes of, what the, the teenage brain and what it's equipped for, and it talks about, death, love, and consequence. And that's really at the heart of what this issue and what this arc is. But, Raphael Albuquerque just absolutely destroying, ripping it up, shredding it as far as the art itself is concerned. And once you get the name Scott Snyder on a piece of paper here, saying that he's the writer, you're pretty much guaranteed, if not one of the picks of the week, you're guaranteed a pretty damn close shot, because he's the best writer out there right now. So, moving along. Morning Glories, number 16. Well, Morning Glories, so I'm sorry, those a 4.5, edging towards 5 out of 5 for American Vampire number 24. Morning Glories 16, easy 5 out of 5. It's possibly the most mindfucky issue yet, since it got out of its original arc. Because there was obviously some massive mindfucking going on there, but this is really going to a place of mental powers, time travel, Casey going back and actually meeting her father, just not too long after she was born, dealing with, there are actually 3 levels of time going on in this issue. There's the time that Casey and Miss Hodge know that they are from, there's the time that they're in, and then of course there's flashbacks to Casey prior to leaving for the Morning Glories Academy. Nick Spencer, his other books have been, for the most part, they've been pretty good. I was not, if you saw last week's, I was not very pro on Ultimate Comics X-Men number 7. But this is really, obviously, Nick Spencer's, this is his golden ticket right here. I mean, he can do anything and does everything with Morning Glories. And Joe Eisma, he's just so goddamn good. I mean, he's such a fantastic artist. The expressive faces, there's just tremendous background work. just the art in general, everything, every page is done with, I would call it a messy exactness. It's a little on the, it's not too cartoony, but it's a little cartoony. It's a little messy, but there is this kind of beauty in how not absolutely perfect it is. I know that's really weird. It's a strange comment, but that's how I feel about it. Is that his artwork is like it's messy perfection. It's really taken the art of doing something like that and bringing it to incredible life. So, but ultimately the pick of the week, and I think it's the comic that everybody's been talking about who does read and is a big fan of the New 52, has got to be I, Vampire #6. Now, this is a prelude, as it says on the cover, to Rise of the Vampires, which will be its crossover with Justice League Dark. Which means I guess I'll have to start at least picking up Justice League Dark for a couple of issues, for however long this takes. But what we've got here is basically the kind of final moments of Andrew Bennett, Tig, the Doctor, and Batman fighting Mary and all of her kind of recently turned vampires, at least a great many of them. It's hard for me to talk about this issue without giving away the farm here, because what ultimately is the big hook to this issue is the farm. And I'm sorry, 5 out of, no, I did say 5 out of 5 for Morning Glories. But anyway, the big kahuna here is something that I don't want to spoil. So I'm going to find it difficult to talk about without, because it's almost impossible to talk about this issue without talking about what happens in it. Suffice it to say that it is incredibly important. Not so much for the ramifications of the rest of the New 52 or the DC Universe, really, but, well, perhaps, but it is more about this book. First of all, Josh Falkoff absolutely doing amazing character work, amazing writing, great dialogue, just giving us a very clear, clean line throughout the entire book. You can kind of almost, you don't see where it's going until it actually happens. And that's a very tricky thing, to not telegraph something of this magnitude. Andrea Sorrentino, if he, and this is I think this is the first issue that I've seen of this comic where it actually has his artwork on the cover. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's the moodiest, it's by far the moodiest book. Well, okay, I shouldn't say by far, because you have Animal Man, you have Swamp Thing, and you have this. These are all kind of on the same level. They're all excellent. They're all consistently excellent. The art in them is fantastic. It's very unusual for this big relaunch of the biggest publisher, if not the biggest, then the second biggest. The delineation between Marvel and DC is almost non-existent at this point in time, because the New 52 is doing so spectacularly well. The only reason that Marvel's beating them sales-wise is because their books cost more. And with DC, you have the volume of their books is actually outselling Marvel's books. And when I go into the comic book store every week, the issues that everybody's talking about are mostly issues out of DC and out of the New 52. So However, if you're watching this, I need your help. I'm not talking about the contest. Please refer back to last week because I haven't gotten a new subscriber yet. I know you guys are out there. So, recommend the Shadow Gallery to your friends. Have them come on down. Have them subscribe. You might win something because so far, nothing yet. It's been 7 days, guys. Come on. I know you can do it. But again, I believe Josh Fialkoff and Andrew Sorrentino, I think we all need your help. This book, as far as sales figures are concerned, is not doing very well. And that to me is very sad. It's, like I said, it's one of the best books of the New 52. Almost every week it's out. It's not the pick of the week. It's very close. Like this week it is pick of the week. It's 5 out of 5, higher than 5 out of 5. It's a perfect read, an excellent issue. I mean, something that you don't really ever see in a comic book happens in this comic book. So, but the big thing here is that when I was looking at the top 100 selling books like Grifter and Resurrection Man, which has been canceled, are outselling iVampire. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So do what you can. If this, I'm sure this is, I'm sure the first arc, because I think this is, it's not really there is no, I don't see an end to this arc in sight. Maybe I do, but this book, I don't want this book on the potential chopping block. Okay, Men of War, yeah, I kind of get it. It didn't have any big names attached to it. And, who really cares about Sergeant Rock in this day and age? Some of the other books. I mean, books like Grifter and Voodoo. I mean, I'm not shitting all over these books. I'm just saying that this is one of the best books on the shelves right now, and it's not even in the top 100. I mean, that's really difficult for me to understand and to believe that this book is not doing nearly as well as much lesser books. So I'm calling on you, the Shadow Gallery Nation, if you will, to come on board with me, work with me, help me get the word out there that iVampire, it's too good of a book to not continue, just as Josh Fialkoff's Last of the Greats is too good of a book to not continue. So when you have the opportunities, buy this book. Convince your friends, buy this book. You will not be sorry. I would not steer you wrong. I won't fuck you over, I promise you. I'm not just talking this shit up because Josh Fialkoff, retweets what I have to say some of the time. I mean, this is because it's very important to me personally that these books get the chance that they deserve, and that everything isn't all Justice League and Batman, God bless them, right here, but that he's there. I mean, that this book, that talented people like Josh Fialkoff are able to continue writing these books, and that Andrew Sorrentino is able to continue doing the fantastic art that he keeps doing on these books. So please, if there's a trade out there to pre-order it, pre-order it. If there's if you go into your local comic book store and these books are available, I'm sure they are, get them, buy them up, buy them from the first issue going forward. You are not going to be sorry, I promise. Okay? So that's it for this week's New Comics, bitches! We're going to talk a little bit more in a little while because I do have a little bit of a bone to pick. It'll be kind of a short, not, me kind of sounding off on something that's becoming a big pet peeve. But anyway, it's at Donnelly92274 on Twitter, James Donnelly on Facebook, the Shadow Gallery Comics.tumblr.com for my blog, Shadow Gallery, James Donnelly, out. See ya.